everyone. Let me know if you can hear me loud and clear. I am at my hotel getting the skincare together. Got these are my Peter Thomas Roth eye patches, I guess. You can see them on my TikTok shop, TheKempire on TikTok. You can see it in my TikTok shop. Hey, Miss Brooklyn Diamond. Hey, girl, what's the tea? Don't forget, guys, to like the video if you haven't already. I'm gonna give everyone a moment before we get into some things. But I will remind you, I am live in DC tonight at Pearl Street Warehouse. You still have some time to get some tickets are still left over. So if you haven't already, go get your tickets, meet and greets. I mean, if you're gonna get a meet and greet, I would get that now. Because the meet and greet is before the show, not after the show. So go get your tickets. Ticket information is available in the description. And if you're not in Washington, D.C., and you will be in New York, or you would like to be a part of the New York experience, you can, because that's the only show on this summer tour that has a live stream option. So be sure to check that out. That's also available. Anyone can watch that. Buy your ticket now so that you can watch it for a week after the show. So, Miss Brooklyn Diamond, I feel like I haven't seen you forever. Hey, Mama Ellie. Okay, before we get into things, be sure to let me know, where is everyone watching from? Be sure to let us know where you're watching from. Okay. Da 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 da. I gotta fix my London's in the house, Atlanta's in the house, Baton Rouge, Atlanta, Philly, Chicago, Los Angeles, Upper East Side, Cali, what's going on, Orlando, Chicago, Calabasas, Hotlanta, is it finally hot there? Mobile, Alabama, Nashville, Orange County, Long Beach, California. What's going on, everyone? Hey, Foxy, Bay Area's in the building. Let's go to Allentown, Pennsylvania, DC. To Foxy, see you tonight. Ann Harbor's in the building. I'm on vacation in Las Vegas right now. Awesome for you. Have a good time. Dade County, Philly. Come on in, everyone. Come on in. Okay. Come on in. Oh, I forgot to have this on. Please hold. Okay. Let me turn that off. There we go. Let me see. Hello from DC. Welcome to the area. This is the second time that you've come and I couldn't make it to the show. Hopefully next time. If there is a next time. Just saying. Finally took a day off watching while cleaning my kitchen. I know that's right. I have seen the military out there, y'all. I've seen the military out there. However, the military is walking around looking like they're looking for something to do. No, this is not the Real Housewives of Miami recap. I haven't even watched the episode. I've seen clips from last night's episode, but I have not watched it. So this will not be the recap. I probably will watch it before tonight's show, and then the DC crowd will get to know. These are eye patches from Peter Thomas Roth. You can find them on my TikTok shop. Thank you guys so much for all the love. Yes, if you're in the DMV, come to the show. I know some people were like, oh, I don't want to go out there because the military walking around with nothing to do. They just walking around in like large groups, walking around like, da 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 da, nothing to do. Real strange. Real strange. Speaking of strange, I don't know if you guys saw this Lil Nas X story. I saw it last night and I'm like, what is going on with Lil Nas X? What is going on with Lil Nas X? Angel says, don't bother watching OC. I haven't even seen any clips from the OC situation. I've only seen the Miami clips. So nothing really happened, and they're on a girls trip right now. And honestly, I completely forgot. I was like, oh yeah, it's back-to-back episodes of Real Housewives on Thursdays now. I saw that the number of arrests is the same before the occupation. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Dana says, do you think it's a PR stunt? In regards to Lil Nas X, I hope not, because they're talking about an OD. So, I don't know. Mama's Alley says, OC was ridiculous. I don't know who to believe now, Kempire. Really? Oh, I have to watch it. Pageant Mommy says, OC triggered me and may need to stop watching. Oh, what happened? OC is a mess. Don't know who to believe. My name is TheKempire on TikTok. Julie says RHOA was boring. Hey everyone. Hey. Exactly, DJ. I don't think it's PR either. I mean, he could be strange and weird, but they're announcing that he's hospitalized. Well, let's get into that before we get into anything else. Big Dog, I'm talking about the military that they have occupying DC right now. I've literally I saw bunches of them throughout this area, and I'm like, they're just walking around bored. There's nothing going on. They seem like just here. They don't seem like they're doing anything. They just seem very just. And I've also seen the DC police, and they're actually working because they have a job. But the military are just sort of like, they're like in groups, like chit-chatting and like, oh, yay. And some were just walking like, Honestly, if you didn't know what we know, you would think that they were here, almost like Fleet Week in New York, when they're just kind of walking around. They're on like vacation. They're just here. That's what it looks like, and that's what it feels like. But yeah, so that's what I meant by in the title, the military's walking around bored here in DC. Like that ain't nothing. I mean, the crime has been down. We already knew this already. But yeah. But let's get into this Lil Nas X story. We can continue to talk about DC for those that are just joining us. I'm in Washington, D.C. for my show tonight. If you are in the DMV area and you've been waiting to get tickets, you still can get tickets for tonight's show. Ticket information is available in the description. Okay? You can also find the tickets on my Instagram as well. So Lil Nas X, I saw this story break yesterday evening. According to TMZ, Lil Nas X is hospitalized after a bizarre scene in LA. He was strolling down the middle of a major street early Thursday morning wearing only his underwear and cowboy boots. I've seen the footage. He seemed like himself. If you followed his career and his antics and things like that, he didn't seem inebriated that bad. Like, he just seemed like, okay, if that's all, I'm like, okay, that is a bit strange. However, according to TMZ Hip Hop, they said obtained video of the Old Town Road rapper with just his underwear on, floating aimlessly down Ventura Boulevard at 4 a.m. Someone driving past him recorded Nas, who repeatedly pointed at the camera and muttered something about heading to a party. And at one point, he placed an orange traffic cone on his head. I've been on Ventura Boulevard. So according to TMZ sources, they say others in the Studio City area noticed Lil Nas and thought the whole thing was weird enough to report it to police. As it turns out, several people in the area have reported to LAPD, and they saw according to them, they said he had no clothes on, but I mean, he only had underwear on. He wasn't completely in the road. We're told officers responded and found him still walking down the middle of the road. And after Nas charged at officers, they subdued him and put him in handcuffs. So that's where things got strange. They're saying that when police confronted him, he charged at them. Officers told paramedics it was a possible OD and that Nas was transported to a hospital. Law enforcement sources tell TMZ Nas could still face charges, but for now, he's still getting treated at the hospital. So TMZ reached out to Lil Nas X's reps, but so far, no word back. I don't see an update in regards to this, but I will double check. Because that was the last I heard last night, and I haven't heard anything new. But they do have, let me see. Okay, TMZ does have some other things talking about leading up to the incident. Oh, hold on. I do have an update. Please hold. Lil Nas X was just booked for battery on a peace officer following his late night escapade that ended with him unclothed, and tussling with police officers. They said TMZ can confirm that Old Town rapper is currently in custody for a misdemeanor offense at a Van Nuys jail just outside Los Angeles. Nas is currently being held without bail. As you know, they broke the story that Lil Nas X was spotted by a bystander early this morning wearing nothing but tighty whities and cowboy boots while parading down the middle of the street. Oh, hold on. So they said law enforcement sources say that he eventually stripped down without the underwear and lunged at an officer. They said their sources at the police department tell us witnesses called police, and Nas was rushed to the hospital after it was reported he suffered a possible OD. I don't think we can, Mama Ali, so I gotta be careful. I don't think we can say, I'm gonna say unclothed. Fans have grown accustomed to Lil Nas's famous antics over the years, but this one is no stunt, of course. So they're saying that it's not a stunt. And he's been officially charged. I mean, it's not a major charge, but still a charge. So he's been booked for battery. Let me see. According to TMZ, in a follow-up, they said that Lil Nas' shock arrest Thursday may not have been a shock after all. There were red flags months before his on-camera meltdown. In February, a video was reposted to a fan account on X showing the rapper talking about his soon-to-be-released music, as well as his personal issues. He seems to have scrubbed the OG video from his socials. Unclear when exactly he took it down, though. Nas kicked things off by explaining that he didn't want anyone to think that he was being flaky and all over the place. Then he admitted to having a tough few years, driving home the point by saying, "They have been pretty much difficult for me." Nas went on to say that he was gaining confidence again in himself and what he does musically. But all that came crashing down early Thursday morning when he was caught on video. They put sashaying. TMZ is so shady. Sashaying down an LA street in only his underwear and cowboy boots. I mean, in the music, if you do music nowadays, you have to love it, because unless you're a Lil Nas X, you're not making money. But even Lil Nas X, who's had a couple of hits, but he's had that major hit. They always, after you've had such a major hit, you're always sort of chasing that same level of success. And I wouldn't be surprised, and I don't know what his record deal is looking like, but it seems like maybe they don't believe in his next project and they haven't put that out. So I don't know. Izzy says sashaying is wild. It is. That is wild. I didn't expect that. I read it. I was like, what? Not sashaying. So that was one of the updates. That was one of the updates. Okay. So, TMZ had more. Because, once this incident comes out, people are saying that there are signs. Okay. You know what? I can't with y'all in the comments. Lil Nas X nearly unclothed adventure was brewing almost 15 hours before his early morning arrest, based on a new strange video of him wandering aimlessly around Hollywood. So TMZ has the actual footage of Lil Nas X from earlier in the day. TMZ Hip Hop obtained this surveillance footage recorded outside the Short Stories Hotel around 1:30 p.m. Wednesday. Sources at the hotel confirmed he was there, although he was not a registered guest. Still, the video makes it seem like he was going through something. You see Montero all by himself strolling off the street and into the hotel's courtyard area. Unlike his shocking encounter with a bystander early Thursday morning, Lil Nas was fully dressed at the Hollywood Hotel. Cowboy hat and boots, jeans, and a short-sleeved shirt as he fanned himself. The Old Town Road rapper later found his way into the hotel's lobby, where he hydrated with a cup of water and then, for some reason, decided to go shirtless after he walked back onto the street. I mean, it was probably hot. So that was just some of what was leading up to his arrest. We've now been informed that although they took him to the hospital, they probably took him to the hospital, saw that he was okay, and then arrested him. Amara says, sounds like Molly. Apparently, that's a popular, thing. We didn't know how popular this was until we were covering the Diddy trial, how often Diddy was using that. We're going to continue to follow this story in regards to Lil Nas X parading around in just his underwear and then eventually becoming unclothed in front of the police and then charging at the police. He's been charged with battery with which is a misdemeanor. I hope he gets help. It's very sad. I understand this industry can be really, really tough, especially after you've reached a certain level of success and then you haven't been able to hit that same level of success. And then if you're in a record deal that is not allowing you to release music. So it could be a whole assortment of things, and also just being in the Hollywood world, or it could be a combination of not even just that. He could also have an addiction issue too. So, yeah. DJ says Molly and K is super common in WeHo in LA. That's what we're hearing. So that's how Matthew Perry passed away, was because of the ketamine. So yeah. So just an FYI. So these are Peter Thomas Roth. You can probably, if you don't have TikTok, you can see this on my TikTok shop. I've had this on for about an hour and a half. They were all white, and now once they clear up like this, that means I can now take them off. And Peter Thomas Roth has been in the skincare business for a long time. So as you can see, you also know I collaborate with Butter, but that's not the only product that I use. So I cleanse my face. I put those on for like an hour, hour and a half once they clear. And now I'll put the vitamin C on, and then I'll put the Butter moisturizer on. You can get 10% off of Butter products in the description. Hey, Rita. Yes, we are live. I'm live in DC. I have a show tonight for those that, I've met a couple of people that subscribe here in DC, and they had no idea I had a show. This is why when I see you guys, this is why I repeat it so much. I know some of you get sick of it, especially because you want me to come to your city and I'm not coming. I get it, but this is why I repeat it. I can't tell you the amount of people I've run into in New York, the amount of people I ran into in Atlanta, the amount of people I ran into DC, where people are saying, oh, I had no idea you had a show. Unless they're lying to me, but I find that hard to believe because there's so many people that say it. Oh, excuse me. Hello from the plane on my way to Bangkok, Rita says. We are jealous. Amara says, you literally say it all the time. I know, Amara says, apparently I'm not saying it enough. But if you are in DC, go get your tickets. Okay? If you are in DC, go get your tickets. Priscilla says, I thought that too, Priscilla, suffering from a psychosis induced by might be. I'd come to Florida. But remember, the New York City show is the last of the summer tour. And then I will not be touring for the rest of the year. It just doesn't make sense. A lot of people don't tour towards the end of the year because the holidays and things like that. So I won't be touring for that. But maybe next year we'll see where we will go and where we will be. But shout out to Philly. Shout out to Atlanta. Shout out to DC tonight. I'm here in DC. And then a shout out to New York City. Again, if you want to be a part of this experience and there are hot topics that I'm going to cover, this is your opportunity to go and see me. The New York City show has a live stream option. It's the only live stream option. So go get your tickets. Okay, for that. Check out the description. Yolanda says, love you, Kempire. I'm currently in Dallas visiting my daughter. Where do you live, Yolanda? You live in DC? Amara says, you might see Trump walking the beat. No. I already did it last night, though. Thank you so much, Nubian. They may be subscribers, but not tuned in like us. They better clock in more often. Oh, Miss Park. I mean, they must be. And I get it. Everyone has a life. I put out a lot of content. But again, I mention it everywhere. If you listen to the podcast, you hear it on the podcast. I just don't know how you would not hear it. But again, I hear it all the time. Every time I run into people, they say that I didn't know that or maybe they've been out of the mix. Maybe they missed some of the stories. Maybe they just watch the short form. Even the short form, though, I've been adding it. Thank you, Rita. Enjoy your trip, Rita. Safe travels to Bangkok. I want to go to Bangkok. Maybe. Eventually I will. Oh, Angel is coming for your next. She said the fans who don't know have T-Mobile. Okima says, I watched you on Instagram the other night for the first time on the train. I love it. Were you on Family Feud? No. I'd love to do Family Feud. I love Family Feud. Priscilla says, "Do you have a pre-live show ritual?" Not ritual. It's more so making sure I have everything in regards to my my pictures and things like that. My skincare, that's more of my ritual, but I do my skincare every day. So there really is no ritual. See, 26 DeRock says, "I have T-Mobile and I know." Just because y'all stop before T-Mobile tries to sue. They can't. I shouldn't say that. Look. Oh, T-Mobile will be my demise. Embarrass me in front of the Kempire fan. It's all right. A lot of people have T-Mobile. Deshop said, "What's wrong with T-Mobile?" Deshop, you must not have been here. Ain't nothing wrong with T-Mobile. I'm just saying you must not have been here for the running joke. Oh, Nakia says, "I call them T-Maybe." Oh. Y'all are a mess. What? There's been so many conspiracy theories in regards to that whole Tamar story. I did talk about that. I will talk about it tonight in DC as well. I did a video talking about that. All these conspiracy theories, I'm like, guys, again, I love a good conspiracy theory, but it could also be very dangerous too, putting that kind of information out there if it's not true and if there's no factual basis for it. But I also said to you, you literally, you don't even have to have a seizure or pass out. You could trip and hit your head in your home and something like that could happen. And you'll be like, I don't know what happened. You could literally forget that you tripped because you hit your head. Anything is possible. But the way that this story has grown legs, I'm like, what is going on? Bossy says, I do not believe anything happened to Tamar other than she made an appointment. Angel says, "My uncle was alone and had a seizure. Nobody found him for 3 days." That's scary. That is scary. Guys, if you haven't already, be sure to like the video. It's an easy and free way of supporting the channel. I'm in Washington, D.C. You may have seen the title. And I mentioned, I've seen the military all over. I don't know if this is, I guess this is D.C. proper. I don't know. I'm not far from, like all the major stuff. And I've seen the military just walking around, looking bored, not walking. They're not marching. They don't, they don't look scary. They just sort of look like, if you ever came to New York during Fleet Week, it kind of looks like that. They're kind of like hanging out. Like, I'm in DC for I don't know how long, making some money, not having to do anything. Hi, Kemp. I was on a Disney cruise last week, and I saw Kiana from RHOA. Not a Disney cruise. I love a Disney cruise, but was she going to a Europe city? Later, I spotted her again. Her fiance was with her. They're still together. Lord have mercy. We saw a picture of them together a couple of months back, and we were like, oh, they're still together. Was the Disney cruise going to a Europe city? I think I've never been on one, but I've heard Disney cruises are fun and expensive. They're not cheap, but I do find it interesting. Instead of her being on, a Mediterranean cruise, she's on a Disney cruise, which could have been one of the Europe cities, but no, the Caribbean. Thank you, NB. NB says no, the Caribbean. I figured. Nothing wrong with it, but I'm just saying. It's just funnier because the way she tried to make it seem during the seasons. Like, I love to travel to Europe cities. Okay, girl. Was he wearing chancletas? You know what? Probably. He's on a cruise ship. Disney cruises are the best. I'm going again this year for my birthday again. See, I know I've heard good things about Disney cruises, but it's just, again, it goes back to what she makes it seem like she's traveling abroad all the time. Hey, butterfly gal. I did see that. I didn't like the fact that Adriana called her ratchet because we already know the microaggressions that could be behind that. But again, I didn't see the full scene. I haven't watched the episode. But Kiki is on a press tour. Kiki from Real Housewives of Miami. I don't want to assume you guys know what we're talking about. She's on a press tour this week, and that to me, I've said this before, y'all know it. I've said this before. I've said this at least 2 other times with other housewives. Right after reunion, pay attention to the housewife that goes on a press tour after the reunion. That says to me that they have a bad reunion. Ms. Brooklyn says, I'm thinking of taking my grands on a Disney cruise next year. See, that's what I'm talking about, Ms. Brooklyn. You should. We approve this. We approve this message. Boxy says, Kiki's giving bozo vibes. It is. But the only difference here is that Boz actually had power in these corporate positions, and what she was being accused of was dangerous. Kiki's making it worse with Carlos. I saw clips from a lot of these interviews, and I was like, Kiki, this ain't it, girl. Deborah says Kiki's getting what she deserves. I feel like Kiki could have went to that reunion and could have gotten over it, but you decided to block Gertie, accusing Gertie of calling you racist. Girl, the behavior, the way you move. Yes, Aki, we talked about Lil Nas X. We talked extensively. The update is that he's been charged with battery. Last we heard, he wasn't being released without without bail. Foxy says Kiki took the wrong road. Apparently, she took the wrong road all the way to the reunion, and still is taking the wrong road. Yes, Ruth. She did. She's been on so many podcasts and interviews this week, and I get it. Housewives do. She's not a housewife though. She's a friend of. But it says to me she's doing damage control. She's definitely doing damage control. Again, I said this before. I'm going to say it again. Pay attention to the housewives that you see start doing heavy promo after a reunion, like heavy. I know normally Bravo will push some housewives out to... No, when you start seeing them going on certain platforms right after a reunion, please understand. Oh, yeah, she unfollowed me on Instagram. Because she had followed me on Instagram. I never followed her back. And I believe she followed me on TikTok, too. I'm sure she unfollowed me there, too. I'm okay with that, Kiki. Because based on how your reunion may go, you might not come back next season. As Koreans, when we grow up back home, we experience classism, but not recording. So maybe she's just dense. Kempire, I've been hooked on watching the old RHOA season 6. Hold on, Lord. Season 6 because of your series. It was so good back then, and Nene was so hilarious. I'm glad. Right? You guys who chose and voted for season 6 for our Rewind, Rewatch recap, mwah, thank you. Very good choice. I've been enjoying watching and recapping it. We've already recapped episodes 1 through 8. For those that haven't watched it, you can see, but they're in 2 recaps. We broke them up. You can also listen to it on my podcast. Gertie is upset with Kiki is choosing the clear person over the what person? The rich Gertie. Huh? I don't understand what you're saying. Just chilling. I love Kenya in season 6. Kenya in season 6 is something to watch. Wait, it's too late for damage control by... She's getting dragged in the comments. I can see the helicopters again for those that were here when I was recapping, what was it, Salt Lake City when I was here in DC last time? Kenya was wacky in her early... It's right, Jessica? That's what I'm noticing. I was like... But I'm starting to see other sides of Kenya in these later episodes in season 6. I'm like, okay, there's the Kenya that we see more of now. But there was a lot of kooky moments, a lot of dancing on furniture. And I was like, what's happening right now? Thank you, Rita. Rita, have a safe flight. Rita says, all the best for your show tonight. Wish I could come to your upcoming New York show next time. Lots of love. Thank you so much, Rita. I understand Rita. Rita came to the last New York show. Came all the way from Germany. Did anyone else laugh when Nene kept saying, those girls are so fast? I couldn't stop laughing seriously. Nene is very funny. But you could start to see the signs where Nene started to change. Because remember, there was a change with Nene, and you start to see it in season 6. It's starting to happen in that season, but she still was a lot of fun in that season. I'm trying to not to go ahead in season 6 because we're recapping it. Because I already watched the episodes twice. I tried to. So we will be recapping on Monday episodes 9, 10, 11, and 12. We're going to get through this season very quickly. So, which I'm glad about because then we can move on. But I think I am going to do a special RHOC just of the episode of, I call it White Girl Wasted, but y'all call it the other thing. She was fun until season 10. There was a change in her. Well, this is where you start to see where it's coming. Thank you guys so much for 145 likes. Can we get to 200? And thank you guys so much for the super chats, the shares, the Venmos, all that. I appreciate it. And all the well wishes for my DC show tonight. I just been working. I still need to do some work on this. So I'm going to get off of here in a few minutes because I still have a few things that I need to do. Nene started acting like Kim Z. I'm too big for this show. She did. What is going to be your next rewind recap? Well, after Real Housewives of Atlanta season 6, I want to do RHOA, and I might do Scary Island season because I think that would be a fun season to do. Thank you so much, Regina. See you in New York on September 12th. I have to keep reminding people because I ran into so many people in DC at the airport. I ran into someone at the New York airport. A lot of people saying they didn't know the show was happening. It's okay. The New York City show will be live streamed, so go get your tickets. Don't wait until after the show because you won't be able to get a ticket then. Do you think Nene could come back as her old self and fun and good vibes, or do you think that she would eventually act like how she did before she left? Marigold, that's a great question. I think her first season she'll come back as good vibes, but I think depending on the level, I just feel like I think that showed us who Nene really is. I don't think that was something different. I think the real Nene would show up again. You're on your lunch break? I need to go warm up my lunch. Bossy says, I never liked Kiki. I liked Kiki. She wasn't, I never felt like she needed to be full-time though, because everyone kept on saying she needs to be full-time. Like, what do you guys want to see more of her life? We already got to see a little bit of it this season. It's not a lot. So I'm okay with her being a friend of. I'm sure she gets paid very well as a friend of. Not as well as a housewife, but very well as a friend of. And it's a great platform for her. Thank you so much, Bella. To me, Cynthia and Candy for the, oh, damn. Ones who capitalize on that platform and try to build. I mean, I agree. Cynthia, even being there as a friend of, is trying to capitalize off of that, which is smart. This is what you should do. You don't want to rely on this Bravo check because it's unreliable. Not girl, go milk a goat. Do you think Nene would be better in acting? I mean, she's a good actress. I don't mind. I like her in some of the things that she's done acting wise, but she hasn't done any acting in a while, which I'm surprised. I know she did. She did the Upshaws, but that was her being herself though. She was very good on Glee as Coach Roz. She was very good on Glee. But it also should tell us, I don't know, I'm not saying that this is fact, but the fact that Ryan Murphy doesn't utilize her still, either it has something to do with the NBC Universal lawsuit or something happened. Because he usually is one of those people that utilizes the same actors over and over again. She was stiff on the new normal, or maybe the new normal wasn't it. Because she was great on Glee. I would love to see her play a wicked stepmom or the rich auntie. She played the wicked stepmom on Cinderella on Broadway. Right? She played the wicked stepmom. Sierra says questionable that she couldn't keep at least acting. Exactly. Duchess says Ryan Murphy reuses actors like a parasite. But that's how some of these producers are. They like their set of actors, and they'll keep reutilizing them. Like Shonda Rhimes does the same thing too. I'm about to get off of here too, but thank you all for being here. We're almost at 200 likes. Can we get to 200 likes and then I'm gonna go? Tyler Perry as well. Bella says that she was great in Cinderella. I found her very funny with great comedic timing. I believe it. Miss Melanie Magic says Ryan Murphy's a white Tyler Perry. I don't think so. No. They're not in the same category. Tyler Perry's quality is. Thank you, Okima. It says a lot that she cannot get jobs. Tammy stays busy and she was problematic as well. Yes, that is true, but she also did not sue a major network. Tammy. Sweet tricks? No, sweet chicks. No, I haven't. Thank you so much for the well wishes. Thank you so much, Yamira, for the super chat, the super sticker. We appreciate the support. Perfectly Blended says, I think Nene will always have that the superior attitude. Have you guys been watching our YouTube channel? I kind of stopped watching because the guests have gone to a whole other world. Thank you so much, guys, for the super chats. Thank you, Duchess, for the super chat. Good luck on your show tonight. Rahina, thank you so much for the super chat. Miss watching you, Kempire. Thank you. Let me shimmy. She let me $20. Let me shimmy. Sorry. Shimmy that for dollars. Ooh, Regina says that Nene gives me Monique vibes. Problematic. Did you guys see T.S. Madison and Monique's interview where she talks about Tyler Perry? Now she doesn't just want a public apology from Tyler Perry. Monique wants a payout. I know she said it, she's insinuated it before, but she said it again. And I was like, oh. So it's just not an apology Monique wants. She wants a payout from Tyler Perry. She says that he has cost her millions of dollars. ATL Real says, right, who's recommending these guests? I don't know. These guests on Nene's platform, like, okay. Stacia says, Kempire, I told you she pops up like an annoying groundhog every few months. She's talking about Monique. I still find Monique entertaining. I still think Monique is very talented. Ms. Brooklyn says that Monique needs to get that payout from Daddy. She talked about her relationship with her husband, too. I mean, she really didn't say anything crazy new in that interview, I'll be honest. Ms. Brooklyn says he's the one who cost her that money. Ooh. She gonna get on here, Miss Brooklyn, and she gonna be like, let me tell you something, sweet baby. Thank you so much, bougie girl. Just have an incredible show tonight. Be safe. Going to shop. Jessica says the interview honestly made me see her side. I can see that. I do think that she has valid points. Don't get me wrong. But again, I've heard this over and over again. So it's the same thing, which she's consistent. But yeah. She had a hilarious comedy. She's had a few hilarious comedy specials. Oh, thank you for pronouncing my name correctly. People get it wrong all the time. Getting red after someone calls you sweet baby is the worst kind of nasty read. Sweet baby. Monique is funny to me. She just needs the right movie role to restart her career. You don't think the recent movie roles? I mean, it should have restarted her career, but they were pretty good. She's a great actress. I don't think anyone takes away from. I mean, she's a great comedian. She's a great actress. Thank you so much, Price. Says, have a good show tonight and safe travels back to New York City. You know I'm out of here after the show. Out of here. Oh, which reminds me, I need to check in for my flight. I need to do that. I think Monique is correct, but her approach is what makes it hard for people. Yeah, and I can already hear her response. What are you talking about? My approach? That I'm standing up for myself? I already know what her response would be. I already know what her response would be. Oh, it's nice again, Miss Brooklyn. Here too. It's nice here because DC's not far from New York, so a lot of the weather that was coming up from here yesterday was going through New York, and now it's nice. But I'll be right back. I'll be right. Hold that weather for me, Miss Brooklyn. Hold that weather for me. I'm surprised Monique hasn't gotten into producing and directing her own stuff at this point. I think she's very talented. I would never take that away from her. There's so many talented people. We were just talking about Nene, very talented, but I also, on one level, I also believe that you should stand up for yourself. A lot of people do just sort of turn the other cheek when it comes to this industry in order to continue to work. I also understand that happens. That's why I kind of look at people like Tyler Perry, who's seen that behind the scenes when it comes to these white platforms, and now allegedly they're accusing him of similar behavior. I'm like, but am I surprised? No. Exactly. April says, so Kemper, you're just doing a burn and turn, leaving early. I know what a burn and turn is. Mr. Mellon says, Daddy won't let her do it. Kim, did find you some trade in DC tonight? I think I did see some trade at the mall yesterday. Ms. Brookins says there's a way to do it. It's not just what you say, but how you say it. This is true. Kiara says that it's sad and not surprising. Is daddy her issue? Everyone does say, but then I have to say, after some of the recent incidents, I was like, it's not just daddy. It's not just daddy. Thank you so much, Angeline. Wishing me luck all the way from South Africa. There's a pool over here. Is this a pool for our hotel, or is that another hotel's pool? And then I can see the water behind me this way. For those that were part of my recap for Salt Lake City, last time I was in DC, I had like a perfect view of, which was crazy because then you saw what happened after that. You remember a couple weeks later, or it wasn't even a couple weeks later, we had that terrible accident in DC, and we were just talking about watching the helicopters and the airplanes take off. Lord. Thank you so much, Alma. Thank you guys so much for 239 likes. If you're watching the replay of this, be sure to let us know your thoughts on the Lil Nas X story, the military walking around here in DC being bored. I heard that Donald Trump was walking the streets last night. Probably bored too. So, yeah. A lot of things going on, and we're going to talk about some of them tonight. If you haven't gotten your tickets yet and you are in the DMV area, come to our Washington, D.C. show. Ticket information is available in the description. If you're in New York City or will be in New York City September 12th or want to be, go get your tickets for that. But even if you're not coming to New York City, there's a live stream exclusively for the New York City show on September 12th. Go check that out. Get your tickets. Don't wait until after the show because tickets won't be available. Go get your tickets before the show. All right, and you get to keep it for a week. All right, y'all. I appreciate you guys being here. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I still have some work to do in regards to tonight's show, so I got to do that, and then I will see you guys in a bit. Call y'all back later. Bye, y'all. Oh, yeah, it's Friday. Bye, y'all. And thanks for the super chat.